There's a lot of companies out there now doing ready to fly, bind and fly, plug and play quadcopters, and they're doing it well. There's some companies actually doing it better than others. We're not going to get into that, but what we are going to get into is GEPRC. Specifically in this video is the Crocodile 7 HD Plus. There's been a few of these. It's actually been out well before. This is the new one. It's upgraded. We're going to take a look at it, so let's take a look at it and then we'll come back and talk about it. See you in a minute. Welcome back, I'm TJ. Today we're talking, well, 7-inch ready to fly, not really ready to fly, plug and play. This one was plug and play, quadcopter from GEPRC. So this is the 7 HD Plus. And actually I forgot, so my name's TJ. If it's your first time here, click the subscribe button, push the bell, get some notifications rolling in so you can see when we're doing stuff like this, which today's a review, but we also do tutorials, things on helicopters, airplanes, pretty much anything radio control. I haven't done cars or boats, but maybe. I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, this is the GEPRC Crocodile 7 HD Plus. HD because it's HD. So this has the DJI Air unit in it. Plus, because it has the DJI Air unit in it. They also have a light version, and it's still in HD. The reason it's light is it has Cadex, so it is light. This one is a piggy. Like when I ran it on a 2600 milliamp hour battery, 6S. Also ran it on 3300 milliamp 6S. They did awesome. So one of the things that kind of threw me for a loop when I read the description of this was they recommended the 2600. I keep pointing over here because the batteries. They recommend the 2600 milliamp hour battery, and they say it gets 7 to 10 minute flight time. And when I heard that, I was like, well, that sucks, because if I'm gonna fly a 7-inch, I want longer flight times, which you can get. So the 7 to 10 minute flight time that they say is ripping this around. So I had the 2600 milliamp hour battery on it with the GoPro 8 and really pushing it to its limit, and I got about 6 minutes and 50 seconds flight time. Now on the same battery, just doing circles around the field, not really hovering. It was like 50 kilometers per hour, which I don't know the math. Math is hard, but it lasted for 14 minutes. Then when I upped it to the 3300 milliamp 6S 60C, I got 18 minutes just doing laps around the field. So for me, this thing is perfect for chasing. I do a lot of airplane chasing. So this is perfect for chasing kind of the bigger airplanes that are flying for longer. And I don't have to land every 5 minutes and switch a battery out. So this is always going to be in my bag. This is always going to be used kind of out of the field when we go out and do some recording. So I'm really excited about that. Now, with that being said, let's dive right into it. So this is spinning 7-inch, so 7056 dowel props, nice and clear. The package, we actually got 2 sets of these. So 8 propellers, which is great. The package also came with like antenna tubes, a couple Allen wrenches just to help remove bolts if you needed it. Plug and play, obviously, so no receiver in this one, other than if you use the air unit. Obviously, if you have the DJI controller, it's going to work right out of the box for that. Now, I did put Crossfire in this one, which you can see from my little whiskers here on the front, just because I prefer to use Crossfire for, well, pretty much anything, especially quadcopters, because I love the reliability. I don't really do long range. I just don't want to fall out of the sky when I fly 50 yards away. So the dowel prop 7056 are on SpeedX motors, not SpeedX, SpeedX. They are 2306.5, 1350 kV, and they go into a 50 amp BL Heli 32 ESC. And this has the GEPRC 722 HD, so straight up plug and play for DJI HD stuff, and it's really good. I mean, I I tend to not have many complaints on products. You know, quite honestly, I don't really get sent anything that's garbage, and it's kind of the same case with this. So the 3D printed stuff is beautiful. Some of the best that I've seen on anything that I've received from other companies. And you know, back to the flight controller. I'm bouncing around a little bit, I apologize. So something I want to check out on these, anytime I get something that's, you know, bind and fly, that's meant to fly out of the box, I always want to check out the tune, because to me that's like the number one thing. It's the hardest thing for a lot of people to really understand how to do and how to do correctly. So a good tune out of the box is something that is, you know, 100% necessary when you're getting something like this. And this one's no different. I mean, it really does a good job right out of the box. Now, it's one of those where, can it be better? Of course. You know, 9 times out of 10, the tune is not going to be perfect. It's going to be close enough. And it's the case with this one. So whether it was the 2600 or the 3300 battery, both of them are big batteries, and they take up a lot of real estate on top. You add a GoPro 8 on the front, man, that's a lot of weight on top of this thing. So it flew really well out of the box with all of that on top. The only thing that I noticed, and you actually can't notice it in the HD footage with the GoPro 8 because it does an excellent job of smoothing all of that out, but there is some bounce back. It's not a lot. It is present. So in the DVR, you know, when I'm kind of chugging the stick around, it sounds awful. When I'm, you know, making this stop to see how it did, you can notice that little bit of bounce back. It's not terrible. It's not a make or break for this, but it is there. And if you're using the GoPro, you're not going to notice it anyway. It's just something to be mindful for. You know, I have a tendency to fly to the limitations of whatever I'm flying, so this will be no different. You know, I know that bounce back's there, so I'm going to take it a little bit easier on the hard abrupt maneuvers to kind of smooth that stuff out. Something else on this is the rates. So the flips and rolls that I'm doing, that's full deflection, full stick deflection. It's 100% on the transmitter, and it's not snappy. Now with something like this, you don't really need high rates because you're not doing any kind of fast twitch maneuvering. At least in my opinion, that's not what this is made for. So they're great for what this thing is. I mean, otherwise there's really not much to say about this other than it's a 7-inch quadcopter running DJI. It flies for a long time, great for long range. If you're like me, it's going to be really good for chasing, you know, bigger scale aircraft. And other than that, I mean, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing. And if you're clicking the button now, thank you too. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.